Bonjour tout le monde. No, that was bonjour mon ami. Mes amis. That's what it is. I don't know. Doing an introductory video is kind of awkward because it's like, it's going to be a short video, but how much substance do you want to put in it? Bonjour mes amis. Welcome to the Armchair Linguist YouTube channel. I'm Tyler, the Armchair Linguist. I'm not a linguist, I'm just a language enthusiast. And I'm hoping that by joining me on my journey through language learning, I can help you with your journey. On this channel, we're going to talk about all things language learning. We're going to talk about linguistics, we're going to talk about language learning apps, language learning strategies, and some of the ways that I've learned work best for me to learn languages both at the beginning level and at the advanced level. It's estimated that more than half the world's population is bilingual, and language studies and bilingualism in America are on the rise as time goes on. I feel that language learning is really important because as you learn the language that's spoken in a different country and by a different culture, you gain insight into that culture and into that people that you don't otherwise get. I also love traveling, and so language learning is really important for me because when I go to another country, I want to at least be able to be polite in their native tongue. One of my passions in language learning is to keep languages that are threatened with language death alive. And this can affect people's lives directly. I don't speak very much Irish Gaelic, but I studied a little bit before I went to Ireland in 2017. And when we were in Western Ireland, one morning we were in Dingle, in the County Kerry, and I stepped outside we were living in a little apartment that was behind a pub, and I stepped outside one morning. It was a cool, clear morning, about 40 degrees. The sky was blue, and the owner of the pub was outside of the pub sweeping the sidewalk. And so I stepped outside, and I decided that I was going to use all of the Irish that I knew. And so I said, Armchair Linguist, which means the weather's nice. And he kind of looked at me surprised, and then he got this huge smile on his face. And he said, he repeated it, Armchair Linguist, nodding. And then I walked away to do, the thing that I was doing. But I knew from the expression on his face that I had made his day. Like, he doesn't hear American tourists come through his pub speaking any Irish at all to him. Most of them don't even know that Irish is a language. I mean, even though they're seeing it on the street signs there. A lot of friends that I talk about when I was studying Irish, they'd say, I'm studying Irish right now, and they'd say, don't they speak English in Ireland? Yeah, they do, but the official language is Irish. And so learning these more obscure languages that are under threat of language death is really important because even though statistically there aren't a lot of people speaking Irish, there are still people speaking Irish. And so to speak Irish to someone who speaks it every day as a tourist, that makes a difference. It tells them that their culture and that their language is valid and that it's important. And I think that is something that doesn't happen in the world enough. People will say, oh, it's a waste of time to learn Irish because, it's on its way out, just like Manx and Scots Gaelic and stuff. And I disagree with that. I think that learning those languages is more important than learning, biblical Hebrew or Latin, because there are still people that speak that language every single day, and it's a big part of their lives and a part of their cultural identity. And so I think that learning those languages, it's helped me to be sensitive to people who are in cultural minorities. and that affects my everyday life as an educator, to be more sensitive to people who don't fall within the same demographic as I do, or the same cultural background that I do. Being sensitive about a person's language and culture helps a lot with being able to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. And so I think that even as globalization and tolerance grows in many sectors of the world, intolerance also grows. And so language learning is an important way to combat bigotry and social intolerance and cultural appropriation and cultural intolerance. Because to learn the language of a culture is to better understand it. So join me, and together we will explore the world of languages. If you like what you find here, please subscribe with the button below. You'll also find links to my social media and to my blog, where you can find more information about language learning and such.